In a world where our friends call us not us united and our enemies call us midnight rain, two dudes must learn to podcast as the Fremen do in order to survive the desert planet of endless content. We don't care how many enemies we have. They'll never be prepared for us. Not us united. Anyway, check out the tag. The name's Caveman.
Dig 'em up, oh.
Is Holes the greatest Disney movie? Live action?
Hold on. You're
Disney Channel.
Okay, thank you. Because then you would be including, like, all the Marvel movies, all the Star Wars movies.
Oh, that's fair.
And, like,
yeah.
not including, like, the animated movies.
Disney Channel.
Disney Channel original
Is
movie.
it Holes? Smart House?
Lemonade Mouth. Camp Rock. The one about mermaids.
The 13th Year?
Yeah, is that the mermaid one?
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. Let's see, what's another one? What's the one where it's like Snow Day? No. They get the snow machine.
Oh.
It's kind of like Cloudy and Chance of Meatballs, but they can make weather instead.
Yeah. The weather, like, there's like these
Time Stoppers?
I was just getting to that one.
Dude, yeah. All time.
High School Musical, obviously.
That it got to the theaters. That's how big of a deal it was. So top tier Zac Efron.
And then the jump rope one.
Jump on in.
Is that it?
Maybe.
Cordon Bleu.
Jump with it. Jump on in.
Jump up.
Si se puede.
Si se puede.
From the cheerleading one. What's that one called?
Like,
so they're like, yes, we can, and it's definitely not si se puede.
Oh,
come on. What am I thinking of? Turn up the
turn up the jam, pump it up.
No, that's Bring It On.
So wait, is it called Si se puede?
No, that's just that's their tagline. Oh, come on. What is it?
Break it, step up.
Disney cheer.
He's losing me, folks. I don't know anything
I
about
got it. Gotta kick it up.
Nope.
Gotta kick it up.
Is it a Spanish movie?
No, but the girl who plays Meg from Hercules, the animated, is their teacher.
Nice.
And she teaches them si se puede.
Si se puede.
Yes, we can.
Si se puede.
Yep.
It's more you can do it, but yeah,
that's
sure.
100%. Yeah, I was like, why do they keep saying that? Because that's not the we.
Conjugation.
Conjugation.
Let's have a Spanish lesson real quick. The literal translation of that is, yes, you as a person can.
Correct.
That is the literal translation.
Yes.
But it's more of a general, like, you can do it.
But if we say yes, we can.
Yes.
It should be si nos puedes. Or podemos.
No, because you don't have to conjugate the second part.
Yes, because you already said we.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Thanks, buddy.
Dude, Spanish. Second language.
Yeah. For both of us, right?
Sure. One more than the other. Anyway. Why did we start talking about that? Couldn't tell you.
I think we should do a Disney Channel original
okay, we got to bring Kimsey
episode.
Down here. Christine?
Yeah,
maybe?
Should be in on that. She
should
loves
do the December
Lemonade
Sisters. Might be time.
Might be time to bring them back.
Some would say we got to kick it up.
Cool. Some would say si se puede.
Some would say that. I don't get it. Okay. This week, though, is a special week because we're talking about the good old Chi-Town.
Yeah. Some would say that this is the biggest week in movies since Tom Cruise releases a movie.
Yeah.
Barbie, Oppenheimer. And what are we going to review this week? Neither.
That's correct.
Because Nick loves cooking so much. You know? And this,
we're always saying
Nick, let him cook.
Let Nick cook. That's right. That's what we always say.
And this week, he was so adamant about The Bear that it got me watching The Bear. Like the day after, I'm like, I got to throw this thing on. Nick loves this show. And I love Nick. And so I got to watch this for him. And I started watching. I'm like, Nick, we gotta review this episode this season.
Yep.
Also, one of us didn't see Barbie, so we gotta have a second.
Oh, whatever. Come on, I'll get there in a second. I already knew we were doing the bear before, so I didn't make that decision. And I helped a friend install some laundry instead.
It's fair. It's better.
Come on,
get your bonus, boys. Si se puede.
I've had these skills, and I haven't been able to use them in like 4 years. And he's like, "Hey, I need to install some laundry," and I'm like, "Well, I know a guy."
Yeah,
he's like, "Me too." That's why I texted you. I was like, "All right, fair enough."
Beautiful.
So helping a friend.
Helping a friend. Talk about the bear. That's a friend helping a friend. Yeah,
this is one of the most Chicago things I've ever watched since The Last Dance. The documentary on Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And just how much butt they kicked. It was awesome. We got a guy named Carmy Berizzato, which is maybe also the most Chicago thing I've ever heard. He's a Michelin star chef who has a brother who dies, and he has to take over his very poorly run beef sandwich shop in the heart of Chicago. And can he survive? And can he make this thing thrive? Find out next week on The Bear.
Wow.
As the pitch.
I love how every episode ended like that. How they said, find out.
No, they did not. And it's one of those shows that if I could describe it in very few words, is dark Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
It's kind of got the family aspects that makes you kind of fall in love. There's like charisma to it, but there's just this like grime and grittiness and also just some darker elements to it that just, I mean, it's just as realistic. It's great, but instead of erring on the side of like cheesy comedy or like happy comedy, this is almost like
is dark.
Everything's so bad that it's funny.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Yeah. I never watched a lot of episodes of it, but it kind of reminds me of Shameless.
Oh, sure. I haven't seen
Where
Shameless
it's just
either.
like everything kind of seems like, oh man, this is so bad. So what are they going to do with it? They got to get out of it. This is so bad. And Jeremy, the actor who plays
the main
Carmy,
guy,
is in Shameless. So I mean, that's kind of his bread and butter. So, but no, I heard about it. I was told like, hey, you should check it out. Kind of the pitch wasn't like insane for me, but neither was like only murders in the building. But anytime I've heard people, chime in, it's like, you know what? They seem to want to talk about it. Let's do the due diligence.
Yeah.
Let's give them that time of day.
I've heard nothing but good things, and finally, my friend Nick finally watches it, and
super good. Yeah,
it is the dark Ted Lasso.
Yep.
It's what if Ted Lasso but cooking and in America, but also when you bring it into Chicago, there's a little bit of grime that's going on, the little grit and the grime in the Windy City.
Yep. Look at your accents showing.
A little grit in the grime. Hey, give me an Italian beef sandwich, baby. I don't want to offend you, Nick, being an Italian.
No, it's fine. I respect it. That's exactly how all of my people talk.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So if you could have a nickname like the Bear, what would you be? And you can't pick the Bear.
I mean, that's tough. Because it's like a variation of his last name.
Yeah, right.
So that's kind of why it's stuck.
But you got cruise control.
I know, but that's not really like the Italian side of my family. That's like the Croatian side.
Yeah, so like
my Italian side of family is Sacco. So I guess you just be like, hey, Sack, what up, Sacky boy?
Hey, Sacky boy.
I'd probably just be called the Sack.
Sack.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, come here, Sack.
Yeah, the Sack.
Thank you, cousin.
Thank you. Yeah, the Sack. Yeah, actually, call me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
humble
John.
Humble Sack.
Humble Sack. This is going downhill fast.
I think my nickname would be Zorro.
Ooh.
Because Z, last name Z, and Zorro means fox.
Oh.
So I could be El Zorro.
I love it. Okay. How do you think people would just stumble upon because the bear doesn't sound like a self-chosen name. It sounds like something people would just like randomly start calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like people hear Zaval and are like, "Hey, El Zorro"?
No.
How do you think it happens? Some crazy story where you like
I like
take a knife, like a rapier or whatever, and
Onga! Waka!
and you like
El Zorro.
yeah.
And I swipe a Z into like the fox. That's how it happened.
I want to pause this bear podcast for just a second and say I actually love The Mask of Zorro.
Yeah, oh, it's lit.
With Anthony Hopkins and Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
That movie
Dude, it's Puss in Boots
is
for live
good.
action.
We should... Should we stop this podcast?
You want to just watch it?
All right, everybody. We'll see you later.
It's been fun.
No, we should totally go rewatch that.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's good.
That's like comfort food for me.
Really? Just like a good...
And it, being from Arizona, is that like watching like the Arizona Batman or something?
Yeah, no, but that's what we call it.
God.
You said Zorro. I was kind of confused for a second. I was like, you mean Arizona Batman?
Arizona Batman. He's kind of got a Robin Hood-esque.
Yeah.
Is he a book?
Yeah, I think so. From a book? He's some kind of legend thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
I am Zorro. I told you.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Arizona Batman, that's me.
Since I can only see your eyes, I kind of get it.
I'm covered if I wore like a mask.
I love it.
Yeah, just call me El Zorro.
El Zorro.
El Zorro. Zorro.
It's very nice. I mean, Antonio Banderas is also pretty good, too.
Oh, yeah.
I can call you that, too.
That's great. Please. This is my dream come true.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. Anyways, this movie, this show is about cooking.
Yep.
It's amazing what good writing can do, Nick. You know?
Yeah.
This show is like so heavy on writing.
Yes.
And like the joy that comes from Ted Lasso writing is just completely opposite in this. Like it is this kind of like heavy and dark. It's not for, I don't think this show is for
hopeless.
It is kind of a hopeless show, but it is like, it is just like you're just struggling with these characters. Mm-hmm. And I think this scratched an itch for both of us in like the food genre of
it's
just
a
like
grind.
Yeah.
And it's a profession that's similar to like teaching or just something that you're passionate for that definitely won't pay you what you deserve from doing well. I mean, I guess in cooking you could possibly get somewhere where you're actually making... If you like
sacrifice your entire life
but typically you're not getting into it for the money the money happens.
Yeah, the Carmy was probably making good money where he was.
But leading up to getting to where he was at, probably was not,
no.
You know? And so you kind of give yourself over to the passion of wanting to know more, wanting to make more, that sort of thing, before it becomes a career-like defining financial gain.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But I think both of us were foodies. I think
I've been known to eat an item or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some say I eat every day.
Dude, hey, okay, audience, I gotta tell you a funny eating story with Michael. This one time, we were eating pizza, and he probably had like 3 slices, and then he came back over, and there was 2 pieces left of like a normal medium's Domino pizza, and he looked at me and he goes, dude, I bet I could down those 2 pieces, and acted like that was like impressive to me, and was just like, dude, I bet I could down those. And I was like, I bet you could too. Anyway, that was the story. Okay, over to you.
Stopped me dead in my tracks. I'm like, this isn't impressive to you?
You just like immediately busted too, because you're just like, oh man, he called me out on such an so quick.
It's such an average thing that someone could do.
Like in your brain, you're like, dude, I'm gonna go ham. Yeah. I'm gonna go ham on this pizza.
It's like,
pizzas. You ate like a third of a pizza. Cool, like you did it.
That's just what I do.
Yeah. But anyway, redemption. It'll happen. You'll eat like a whole pizza, and I'll be like,
"Oh, dude, I could eat a whole pizza. I could eat a whole pizza right now."
Really?
I feel like at every moment in time, I could eat a whole pizza. Okay,
Get
me a whole pizza.
No,
I'm not paying for it.
Anyway, the bear.
Yeah, it just feels like it it has the drive of someone who's passionate about what they're doing. And there's not even the question of, oh, what if you didn't cook?
Yeah.
That's
what
just
if you
not a
got out
question.
of this bad situation
why don't you
and took care of yourself? And
yeah.
It's no.
That's not even there's a question of oh, maybe you should sell the business and do something else. But it's never what if you became an engineer? What if you went back to school to do something else?
Right.
It was that, and for nobody in this field, and it's the hours suck, and you the holidays, I don't even know what time off looks like.
Right.
But people are just I have the drive to do this, and there's something that speaks to me in some way of I'm in the middle of Chicago. My life is this restaurant, and I love this community. I love the people here.
Yeah,
and you see even with there's interactions with some gang members in this that they're hey, why don't you just I don't know, not destroy my restaurant?
Yeah,
and we cool, and so it just feels just I don't know. It just feels good, but in a grimy, bad way.
I think what you're alluding to is that it almost feels lived in.
Yeah, thank you.
The environment was well researched to the point where it didn't have to tell you how much it knew about Chicago because it already felt like it was just in Chicago.
Show don't tell.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has a heart to it, and I mean, did it have to be in Chicago? Not necessarily, but I think they just kind of found that perfect level of is this place got some baggage with it 100%, but there's some life to the city as well that's you can't escape it. It's a good there's something about it too. And basically the ironic coincidence that are all falling into is that this beef restaurant is the lifeline for 5 individuals. They're all relying on it, and it just seems on paper that doesn't make a lot of sense, but as you live through the first season you realize why that is. And it's really cool. I think you come to love each of the characters in their unique way, even though they show some flaws. Because sometimes being honest about the damage that's been done kind of just helps you relate to them. If there's hope that could become something good, it doesn't just go, this is going to suck, everyone's going to not change, and it's just going to keep sucking. It all sucks. There's a chance, a very, very small David versus Goliath story being told here. Maybe they can figure it out. And I will say, unlike the comparison to Ted Lasso, this is a much tighter show. Yeah. It's always 25-minute episodes.
Yeah.
And they will make you feel anxiety if you've never felt it before, because they put you in the kitchen. There's even a particular episode, without getting into spoilers, that is a one-shot.
Incredible.
And you just feel
the pressure
of what being in a... And I also kind of connect to it because for a year of my life, I did this. And I know that's not even, that much time. But I did it in a downtown area, and this is what it was like. It wasn't the greatest establishment, kind of.
It was also
grimy.
Italian.
It was also Italian. And you kind of the calm before the storm, and then when it's happening, you have to produce as a team, and you have to show up, or stuff's gonna go down fast. It's not a place where a lot of mistakes can be made, you know. So it's sweet when it all works out great, because at the end you're holy cow, we did it. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of the putting in the blood, sweat, and the tears is worth it.
Yeah, but during it, it's a little crazy. It's chaotic. Yeah. You got fire, you got metal, you got knives, you've got just
attitudes,
chaos. Yeah, and you just got a bunch of people who are trying to survive, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I think the show just it did its research well, where it didn't have to preach at you. it can teach you a little bit about food and like cooking and like behind the scenes of a restaurant, but it really just kind of has that as like
the background.
Yeah, it really doesn't do much to force that.
It does a lot of heavy lifting with unspoken things. Like even in like the inciting incident, like to get Carmen into this area and into this new job and into like why he cares about the restaurant so much and everyone's love for food and like what they're making and whatever. It's like, hey, we're making this. And it's like they kind of go into the background of that, but it's not like that takes center stage at all. It's a weird blend of like, because it's so short and compact, they like trimmed all the fat off literally, where it's just like, here's just like the cleanest story we could tell. Mm-hmm. And I think that should be applauded. Like not
100%.
This could have been like a 20 episode drama and like really, and like just drug out a few things. And it's like, no, like this is a clean, unique story, and we wanted to tell it in this way. And I think that's incredible.
Yeah, and I think it does a good job of setting up a few things from the start. They allow you to be like, okay, so I'm curious. Like I think they tease enough at the beginning for you to be like, okay, I'm hooked. I'll check it out, and even if some of these don't get answered by the end, maybe it'll open up another path for this to go. And so I think they've got enough foundation of mystery that it's kind of like planted on that they can choose to like grow or not grow whenever they want. And so I could see the show totally being like a 3-season and done. Or I could see the show being like a 10-season. We find out more and more, and it just keeps getting crazy, and we just see where it could go. But I think it did a good job of not forcing a bunch of like tight, like no loose ends, but it's methodical about like what it's teasing before it.
I will say like for sure, knowing that there was a second season, I think helped me know that I'm going to get more of this.
Yeah, so you weren't expecting it from the one season.
Yeah, and so like I knew that I wasn't expecting the end of the season to be like, this is the end of the story. But even though I think it ends in a pretty nice way.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
It's like, I think that could have been an ending point, and it would have still been fine.
Yeah, it was good.
But like, I want more.
Oh, 100%.
Some would say I want a dessert to this entree, because I know how to talk food.
Jeez. I only know how to breathe and do fine dining.
Yeah.
SpongeBob. I love it.
So, why don't you hit us with that restaurant? Why don't you refire your thoughts?
Okay.
And give us a rating.
Yeah.
On this.
I'm gonna say.
He's giving us a face, y'all. I feel like this is debate between like a 9 and a 10. I don't think
it's somewhere in there. I'm gonna go with. Is there anything?
Yeah, what's like the glaring flaw? Is there a glaring flaw? Is this the greatest show of all time?
No. It is quite excellent.
Is it better than Ted Lasso?
I think I'm going to stick at a 9.
Yeah.
And let's see how this pans out. Because the season 2 is already better than season 1.
Whoa, okay.
And I'm not even done with season 2.
Okay, because I did a clean, I'm not watching season 2 until after the review. So I've just seen season 1.
Perfect.
Interesting. Okay.
So there's some stuff. I'm about 4 or 5 episodes into season 2, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to do a clean 86 on this and do an 8.6.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know if that reflects my feelings, but...
Do you feel good about that?
No.
86. Do you know what that means?
Isn't it like you got to turn it around or like you got to restart?
Rid of it.
Oh. Yeah.
So if it's like hey, we're gonna 86 this on the menu, you like we.
Where
no
did
longer,
that come from? Like, how did that become a thing? Like, we got to 86.
1986, the year of restaurants.
Oh, that's the first restaurant. That's when the first restaurant came out.
That's right.
In Chicago, Detroit.
That's right.
Yeah.
The hard part about this review, though, is I don't know how much of the spoiler section I even want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to just be like, I don't know if I'd want to do a deep dive of like episode 7 in particular.
Okay.
I kind of want just people to be like, hey, go watch it.
Well, we could stop now, and if people want to...
That's true. Yeah, we can do a
people
spoiler warning.
Can control themselves. We can say, hey, spoilers, if you don't want to do it, 86 this episode from your mind. Huh? Huh? I know kitchen talk.
Can you guys believe that I have to deal with this
I worked at a pretzel shop.
Single week. I worked at a pretzel shop. I know what 86
I know what 86 means.
Okay.
We said that. We're like, why don't we 86 these pretzels? And that meant fold them to make pretzels.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, pretzel shops, man.
Did you fold them in the shape of an 86?
Yeah, no, that's stupid.
Wait. Why would you 86 pretzels at the place that only sells pretzels? You'd go out of business.
Wasn't my business.
That's fair.
None of my business.
Let's 86 let's 86 our jobs.
Yeah, dude. So there was a conversation between us.
Okay.
That we wanted to get a food truck.
Yeah.
Are we getting a food truck?
I mean, do you have the money for
No.
it? Oh, okay. Then probably not.
Do you, though?
No.
Oh. But I sent you that link.
You did. You did send me a link. That's right. I think a food truck would be fun as an idea. And then maybe it would be fun to actually execute.
Yeah.
I think
it's the least.
If you think about cleaning and then restocking and like keeping it functional, I think it's not as fun.
It's the least barrier to entry.
For sure.
Yeah. But then it's like you got to work all your weekends.
Yeah.
You got to go to all the festivals and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I do like the choose your own hours. And I guess if you just run out, you run out. I mean, that's the whole point is you can have a limited amount of to provide. And then as soon as you're out, you're like, I've made all the money I can make.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. I think that's cool. But
yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have a traveling sandwich
with your cousin.
Truck.
Me.
With your cousin.
We're cousins. Herd chef.
Well, Chicago cousins.
Yeah, Chicago cousins. That's what we're called.
Herd
chef. Well, I think this review is straight fire.
Agreed.
I think let's do some spoiler talk. People who have not seen the episodes, seen the season,
Fire, chef.
It's straight fire. Why don't you 86 not watching this episode and go watch the season?
Boom.
And then you'll be like, I've never wanted to 86 anything else in my life.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Stop me, Nick.
Yeah,
please,
okay.
please.
So spoilers. I think there's just a few things that we really need to dive into.
Yeah.
I think the first 4 just kind of bring everybody up to speed on what's going on without really telling you all of the intricate details. I love the way that they fill you in on like
how things happened.
And
it's not like in your face. It's like, here's a line.
It's like, I haven't seen you in 6 months since, Mikey died or whatever. And blah, blah, blah happened. And I just think they did a good job of giving us a bit where we're like, okay, I understand the motives and what's going on with everyone and then here's all the things that have happened and here's all of the past and that's why we all do what we're doing. They're really teasing that out, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that they set up just a nice little mystery of, Carmy, you're the greatest chef of all time. Like, you were the best. And Mikey sounds like he knew that. And he also never wanted you to work at his really crummy beef sandwich shop.
Yeah.
And there's just this, like, I don't understand. And I think it drives him crazy to the point where he's like, I'm just going to go be the best chef. Like, look, I told you I can do it. And I love that. Like, there's like a Good Will Hunting feeling to that, where it's like you're clearly like a savant at what you're doing, but for some reason you're still not good enough for your older brother. I wonder why. Like, and we still don't know, but I love that's like at the crux of it.
Yeah.
So you kind of know that the bear is metaphorically this caged animal that he feels like, where he's like, do I need to be released? Am I good? Am I dealing with, like, it's grief? It's like, it didn't have to get heady like that. And it also didn't tackle it so much so that
felt heady.
So, like, there's just some really cool artistic, creative choices done here that set the tone without just, like, punching you in the face over and over again with, like, trauma, all this stuff. Like, you have to understand he is dealing with this mental illness or whatever. It's just like, hey, he's dealing with the loss of his brother. He clearly also hasn't had the greatest cooking career, even though he is the best at what he does.
Right.
And so it's just like, something is not fulfilling him and he's still searching.
Right.
Boom. Now create a
show from
try to do a restaurant correctly.
Yeah. And but dealing with, like, this restaurant represents, like, his brother.
Yeah.
Basically, if he gives up on the restaurant, then he's giving up on his brother.
Exactly.
And so there's, like, multiple times throughout the show where characters like, why don't you give up on this restaurant? Like, stop it. And it's like, no, I can't. And, like, one of the other characters, Sydney, right?
Yeah,
that's her name. Yeah. I think they call her Sid, right? And so I thought she was great. She loved her character. But she's like, when she, near the back half of the season, like when she quits, like right before, she's like, why do you care so much? And it's like, they don't even like explicitly tell us why he cares so much about the restaurant, but you just know. Yeah. It's about his brother. And so I think it's just a great way of storytelling where they leave you the crumbs. Yep. And you just you pick them up. I mean, it's not like it's the most mysterious thing in the world, but like he could have had a moment where he's like, in maybe a lesser show of like, I care about this restaurant because my brother is here and he's in this restaurant, he's in these walls. It's like, well, like, we know that, dude. We've seen shows before.
Yeah, it doesn't hold your hand. It trusts that the audience is picking up on it, even though it's not like crazy, profound. Yeah. But I do like, there's just something like, I don't want to sound like pretentious when I say this, but like with how like carefully crafted some of Carmi's meals are that he makes, like when he's at that other place, they're very like small, clean dishes, and that's kind of what this show just feels like. It's like it's got a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and a little bit of this. It has no bloat. It's done. Give it to the customer. Send it.
86 it.
86. Like every episode, like I said, it really feels tight, and I respect that. Like I don't know if it's just the era of television that we're in, because we asked for, like, I remember when we were starting to get, like, Netflix was really on the rise, and we were starting to get these, like, 13 episode, hour-long episode seasons, and we're like, man, that's perfect. It's like a nice, long movie that lasts, like, 13 hours. And I know, I think it's just everything's, like, cycles through. Yeah. But, like, then everything kind of got bloated, and then we started to see filler take over. And now we're to the point where it's like, please just don't give me filler. Just give me, like, 8 20-minute episodes. I don't care if the whole thing's only, like, 3.5 hours. Yeah. I don't care. I'll just watch. That's fine. Yeah. And that is nice. Yes. It's, like, refreshing.
Yes, because of, to me, the amount of content in the world is just overwhelming. And so to be
too
like,
damn high.
Just give me like a crisp, a clean 8 episode.
Boom.
I love that. Yep. And I'm just like, we don't need the fat. Yeah. This isn't the show to have that. I can watch it in a different show and have some filler and enjoy that. But this, like, if you just want a lean piece of meat, dang, I can talk food. Like,
dude, I hear you, man.
Give me the slimmest cut of meat you got. Give me whatever
like
the cow.
Just anything.
Yeah, anything.
Man.
I can't even tell you.
Food, dude. Yeah,
I can't even tell you what
too many cuts. I'm not even gonna tell you which one.
Yeah, like the one cut that we all know.
Dude, just give me that slim.
The Slim Jim.
Semi Jim loin.
The semi-gloss Jim. in the parfait, like, refire, you know?
Boom. Refire it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Refire your thoughts on me as a chef because I'm out here.
You are insane. You are just... You're a bear.
Huh?
Zorro? Zorro the bear?
Yeah, I think my favorite episode is that one shot.
100%.
Like, I think, is that the one?
It actually was one too.
Yeah.
It actually
They did it.
They didn't. I think it wasn't like a hard edit.
Okay.
Blend in like 1917
Oh,
style.
beautiful.
Like I think it was straight up.
That
like,
one. That was the shortest episode too. It was like 20 minutes.
Well, and they do the credits at the beginning, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
It's because they just wanted it to deadpan like in the way that it did.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was incredible.
Yeah. That it's
Like one part, I was so on Carmi's side, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And then on another part, I'm like, holy shit, this
Dude, you
guy
gotta-
needs to be stopped.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. It's like he can't. Like that's
Yeah.
the bear came out. The bear came out. He's getting all these orders. His restaurant's gonna go down. His brother, his brother killed himself.
Yep.
And like
And
it's all coming
it
on.
finally
him.
boils up.
Yeah.
It's literally insurmountable, and like there's a choice. You can leave or you can cook.
Yeah.
And he just says, "I'm gonna cook," and everyone else is like, "Peace."
Yeah.
You know, what an incredible piece of. I think you don't know what you're even getting into, and then by the end of it, I just remember looking over at Kate, just like, that was it.
Yeah.
That's going to forever be like, oh, did you get to the bear episode? And like people actually know what the hell I'm talking about. Because you'll know like people who watch the bear or don't by saying like, did you get to the episode? Because they'll know.
They'll know the episode.
You gotta know that.
That's one of the greatest episodes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's just so well done.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And then the next is for how much they tackle in one episode after that to be the finale is also insane.
yeah.
Because there's this beautiful, like, he obviously is sorry. He needs to make it right. And then they also just happen to stumble upon Michael's,
money,
all of his money.
Dude.
And I love when Sid enters in, looks at him, and he's like, I'm thinking, like, we open a new business like this. And she's like, oh, yeah, this style. And it's like them saying sorry without them saying sorry.
Yes, because that's all they can
planning.
talk. They can only talk in professional food terms. They can.
And they both get it.
Yeah, like she comes back because this is all she has.
Yep.
Like not this restaurant, but just like I can help this restaurant. I can change this. I see the vision, and this is me.
Yeah,
Like,
and no matter how much of a dick Carmi was, like she respects him too much to like leave the opportunity of having him as a partner.
And I love like the drive that he gives people too.
Yeah.
Like he and like there was like the fight back from the other ones of like you're changing up this and you're instituting the brigade and all that.
Then
but
you have like Marcus who's just sitting there, just like, I'm so inspired. I'm gonna make awesome cakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so obsessed with these donuts.
Yep.
I need to make these donuts. I need to make them right. And just like that's the passion of like I have a goal and I'm going to nail this goal.
Yep.
And like I loved just like how each character kind of like fed off of each other.
Yeah. My favorite shot of the whole season is episode 7. Carmi loses his shit. Everyone leaves. Marcus is like, I finally figured out the donuts. He's like, why are you doing this? Can you not clearly like see we are totally effed right now? And Marcus is like, wrongfully like should have not been doing what he's doing.
But he's in his own
so he
little
throws
world.
like the best batch of donuts onto the ground. Circles back to the end of the episode. He picks one off of the dirty restaurant floor, eats it, and then he smiles and laughs because it's actually good. Like he cracked the recipe, and he just sits there and it's just like they weren't supposed, like they got to where they needed to get to, but it wasn't supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
And so you just feel that where he's like lost his entire shit, everything is burning. And then he just laughs because he's tasting like a delicious donut. And I was like, that's it. That was it for me. I was like, I'm in. I'll watch this till the end of the line. I'm there. I'm in.
To the end of the line. Beautiful.
Loved it.
It's so good. I think last thing I'll say that I have
Sure.
is I loved how, and it's like, I think it's a reflection of the show itself. The card that Richie finds and gives to Carmy, and all it says is like, "I love you, dude."
Let it rip.
Let it rip. I'm like, no, like long message,
and then it's just a recipe.
And then it's
for
the recipe,
family.
and obviously it leads to like all the money and whatever. But like how like clean and just simple it is, but also like poignant and like punches you in the gut.
Yeah,
that's like the pinnacle of this show.
Yeah,
where it's
inspiring.
Just like, here's this little simple, clean, perfect thing, and like it affects you so much. It's great.
Yeah, no, I think that's just a testament to the writing, like you said. I mean, sometimes you can see a show that's trying to force that like one-liner, so that way when it comes back up later, it's like, oh, it's supposed to mean something. But we've only had like one scene with Mikey at this point, and we just know that like that was his slogan, and like they set that up in such a good way where it wasn't kind of distracting or like out of the blue, but then for it to be, I think we're gonna learn more. Like I'm not, as a guy who's seen season 2, I don't really know anything yet. I haven't finished most of the episodes, so I don't know anything. But that those episodes I think will even hit harder once we know what's going on in like season 2, whatever, beyond. But also just like props. I feel like the show, the actors are all, I mean, great. I've looked up some of their past stuff, and I mean, they've all done good things. But I thoroughly enjoy like the lengths that they went to be like, I don't know, like Tina is like one of my favorites because they found someone who's a great actress, but also just feels like she's lived in that restaurant for like 20 years.
Exactly.
You know, like Marcus feels right in that like he stereotypically is like large and kind of like tough, so you'd think he would be kind of like a, I don't know, like a brawler, but he's like sitting here like trying to perfect donuts. And it's just like, I love the thought that they put into each character, and that Carmy just, I mean, I think this is that, I mean, I think the way he acts, this is kind of his thing where he's like, there's thought behind a lot of what he's doing, but you just feel this like level of like, I am unwell, but I also know what needs to be done. And there's just this like battle that he can like portray without really doing anything. And it's pretty incredible. So, yeah, just all of it feels good.
Yeah,
feels,
it does.
I can't really, I couldn't replace any of those characters.
No.
Especially like Richie too. Richie is like the perfect, like I wouldn't be surprised if he's some just like British actor or something, but like he kills it.
He's
as like
incredible.
a Chicago, just like kind of
just like dirtbag kind of.
Yeah, but it's just like he has that line where he's like, "You're all I got, cuz."
Yeah.
He finally humbles himself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're only charged with aggravated assault, and he's like, "Praise God." You know, just like just like this is a rough batch of people, but you kind of like love them.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah.
So hats off.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when you were mentioning Mikey, and like we only saw the one scene of him, that scene, like you kind of just go through this rough, and then that's the opening scene, I think, of like 6 or something. And it's like that just has so much levity to it, and it's like everyone's happy, everyone's joking and having a good time, and it's like, oh my god, this was like their life before. And like, but it also tells of like how someone can feel on the outside and look on the outside, but not be good on the inside. And so it's just like, it has so many levels to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you already know so much about Mikey's character from a scene and just like people describing and like the world around him, and you get to see him, and then you just get it. And so like a show can do that well.
Amen.
And so I think what we're saying is we're praising the show because it is what we want from television.
Yep.
In that, like, hey, you can do it. You can make a good show from anything.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I wasn't like, man, I really need like a culinary drama about a Chicago beef shop.
100%.
Like, that's what I really need in my life.
It's not the show we asked for, but it's the show we deserve.
Amen.
The Dark Knight. I mean, the bear.
I mean, the dark bear. I mean,
yep.
2 bears.
2 bears. The Bear Knight.
There's always 2 bears inside of you. One says...
One turns the milk into cream.
One milk turns the milk into cream.
That's all right.
Okay, I have one last thing.
Please.
It's been eating me all episode.
Oh, boy.
I led you astray in the Spanish. I said the wrong thing.
Nos?
It's not nos.
Okay.
It's not. It's si se puede. Okay, so si se
amos.
No, si se, because that refers to the it. Podemos. So
I
yes,
was
yeah. So it's yes, it we can.
Yeah.
Literally. So, but
it was amos.
I'm sorry.
I knew it.
I'm sorry.
All right. My 2 years of high school Spanish paid off, baby.
Mm-hmm. But you said si nos podemos.
Yeah.
You were gonna
when
do both.
you were saying nos, yeah, I was like, wait, do you do? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It was eating me up inside.
I just think
the Spanish
Disney
heritage
needs to go
inside of
back
me
and
was
change it,
crawling.
Disney needs to reflect on what they've done.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Not Us United. We are a podcast that... Oh, wait, that was the beginning.
We haven't done that in a while. We could do it at the end now.
Nah. We just exist to party. That's all we do, man. Week in and week out, we party. We watch content so you don't have to. So that maybe you can watch content one day.
Well, you should watch The Bear.
Yeah. And next time, because we'll probably do season 2.
Yeah.
You'll check it out with us. Not Us United.
Yeah. Thank you, cousin.
How about that, cousin?
You've heard this episode, cuz.
That's right.
Yes, chef.
Because you listen to us.
Not Us United.
Not Us United. We did it.
Heard.
All right. Heard, chef. Good night, chef.
You've just listened to Not Us United. You can find us under Not Us United on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please leave us a review and consider subscribing to our podcast. You can reach out for future podcast topic suggestions at notusunitedpod@gmail.com.